If you know this, you will become fluent in Spanish. It's just one thing. Just one thing. It seems like everyone wants the secret sauce to becoming fluent in Spanish. So what is it? Consistency always beats intensity. What I mean is this. If you want to become fluent in Spanish, you simply need to show up every single day for the rest of your life. Instead of saying, I'm going to learn fluent Spanish in 3 days. I'm going to be the best in the world. I'm going to study for 10 hours a day. And then you're going to get burnt out and give up, and you're not really going to go anywhere. That is the key to becoming fluent in Spanish. Consistency always beats intensity. So if you can only realistically dedicate 2 minutes per day for the rest of your life or for the next 10 years to Spanish, I would much rather you do that than say, cool, I'm going to do 2 hours a day and it's going to be great. I'm going to become fluent. And then a week goes by, life happens, and you give up. Do not be this person. I'm not going to lie. I see it all the time when people join my Fluent Spanish Speaker Academy. They join the program. They say, I'm ready. I'm going to become fluent in 2 days. It's going to be amazing. And I'm going to have the best Spanish ever. They start off, they're doing good. And then all of a sudden they realize, oh, wait, there's this new thing. Or, oh, I don't know. Or all of a sudden life happens. And then they stop, and then they give up. The people who become fluent in Spanish understand that learning Spanish is just like doing anything else hard in life. You have to show up consistently and put in the work. But think about going to the gym. The people who are really ripped and who are looking excellent go to the gym consistently. Okay, maybe they take supplements. Maybe they're taking the creatine and the protein powder and all that jazz. That's great. But the number one difference between them and everyone else is that they're consistent with their exercise. They're consistent with their diet. They're consistent in general. So there is no secret method to becoming fluent in Spanish. The secret method, or the best method to become fluent in Spanish, is simply to be consistent. Because here's the thing. On the internet, you're going to see all these different people, including myself, who are going to say things like, oh, well, you got to do the comprehensible input. No, you need to speak as much as possible. Never speak. Become a monk for 3 months. Stay in a cave. And when you come out, somehow you're going to speak fluent Spanish. The reality is, this is great for selling things and making you think, oh my gosh, this guy, he's got the secret sauce. He has the answer. He has the meaning to life. When in reality, the way that you're going to become fluent in Spanish is by being consistent. Now, my method, or the way I think about that, is the cold hard truth, which is just show up and put in the work. Now, I don't want this to sound scary. Showing up consistently and putting in the work should be fun. I mean, think about the people who go to the gym all the time. A lot of them love going to the gym. It's not necessarily a chore. So you need to do that with your own Spanish learning. I want you to delete almost all of your Spanish learning apps. If you have a ton of Spanish learning apps, you're just going to overwhelm yourself. You're going to overwhelm yourself. You're going to get confused, and it's not going to be fun. It's going to be scary. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, there's so many different crazy parts of learning Spanish, and I can't do it. Wait a second. Slow down. Simplify. Okay, so let's go over some really good Spanish apps and just stick to those. Okay, so when it comes to learning new vocabulary and creating things like flashcards, SpanishDictionary.com. It's excellent. You can use it on the web or you can download it on your phone. When it comes to flashcards, you can use something like Quizlet or Anki. Quizlet is more simple. Anki is a bit more involved. So if Anki involves you, just use Quizlet or just use physical flashcards. For grammar, there are fantastic books online. Barbara Breakstein has very popular books that you can order online. But if books aren't your thing, you can join an online community like our Fluent Spanish Speaker Academy. Check it out by clicking the link in the video description. For speaking, you have free online language exchanges like Tandem or HelloTalk. Or you have paid things like italki or Preply, where you can pay a teacher and chat with them for an hour. For listening, just listen to something like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music. So music, podcasts, maybe even movies. But when it comes to apps on your phone, you really only need Spanish Dictionary, something like Anki or Quizlet, and then maybe Duolingo. Now, you might be surprised to hear a Spanish teacher recommend Duolingo, but here's the thing. Duolingo is excellent for maintaining consistency. A lot of people say, oh, well, yeah, you definitely can't become fluent with Duolingo. And I would agree with you because you're really not speaking at all. And you're barely listening. You're really not doing a whole lot of actually using the language in the real world. But Duolingo makes it fun. You can connect with your family and friends on there. And they're excellent in helping people maintain their consistency. A bonus one I'll add in there is ChatGPT. It's free. You can chat with it. Sometimes it's not correct, or maybe it'll teach you, Castilian Spanish instead of, Spanish from Mexico, for example. But for a free resource, it is really good. But just keep it simple. Please, 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 because simplicity is what will help you be consistent. Next, use a calendar. If you want to become fluent in Spanish, use a calendar. Put it on your calendar. Make it a priority. Say, okay, before I go to sleep, I'm going to do 5 minutes of Spanish, 10 minutes of Spanish, 15 minutes of Spanish, whatever you can do consistently. I highly recommend you read the book, Atomic Habits, so that you can learn how to make Spanish learning an atomic habit in your life. Now, a quick story I'd like to share with you is about the incredible swimmer, Michael Phelps. Allegedly, Michael Phelps had in his calendar or on his to-do list, wake up, get in pool. That was it, okay? One of the best swimmers of all time, and that was the only thing he had on his to-do list, okay? So think of that for your Spanish learning. What can you do to make it as easy as possible? For example, for the students who join my academy, I tell them, hey, consistency is the most important thing. Here's what you should do right now. Put on your calendar, go in academy for 2 minutes or 5 minutes. Just to go in, you don't need to have a specific agenda. Just go in there, and then you'll be like, okay, cool, this led to this. Okay, cool, here. And before you know it, you're learning new things. Another key lesson I've learned about the people who become fluent in Spanish is that those who speak will always win. So the people who are speaking the most are always the ones who get better the fastest. And it's kind of unfortunate because most of us, when learning Spanish, probably don't speak as much as we could. And the reality is, of all the things we could do to improve our Spanish, speaking is probably the thing that we do the least. However, speaking is the thing that will improve your Spanish the most. Back in 2020, when I started making YouTube videos here on this channel, speaking in Spanish with people, my Spanish was decent, but now my Spanish has become way better. The number one reason for that is because I have been speaking much more Spanish ever since then. So, be patient. Have fun. There's no rush. Remember, the people who go to the gym consistently are always the ones who get the best results. But they love going to the gym. So, same for you. You should love learning Spanish. Make it fun. Think of how you can make it fun. Hey, I love basketball. All right, every Saturday I'm going to watch basketball in Spanish, or I'm going to go play basketball with, these new Spanish-speaking friends I made, or I'm going to, look out for events that are happening in my community that are for Spanish speakers, so on and so forth. And like Mark Twain said, the secret of getting ahead is getting started. So, get started, keep it simple, be consistent, and have fun. Muchas gracias. If you want to learn more Spanish from me, click the link in the video description to check out our Fluent Spanish Speaker Academy. Our goal is to help you have a 10-minute conversation in Spanish in 90 days without feeling unconfident. Check it out by clicking the link in the video description. Muchas gracias. Hasta luego.